So before we move on to actually any more technical stuff with this, we need a bit of a space to work with in here with the actual data. So what we're going to do is create a left sidebar here, which will be a list of items, and then the chat area here, and that will do for now. So we're going to need a 2-column layout in the app, and I believe I've already created some of these pages. Yeah, the messenger here. And chat input, login, sidebar, thread view. So that's perfect. So in the messenger, what we'll do is import React component from React. We will import connect from React Redux, and we will import with router and link from React router DOM. Now let's create the class messenger extends component, and we will have our render method here that for right now will return a div that just says hello, I guess. And then we're going to create map state to props, which gets the state and returns an object of ... state.auth and ... state.chat. And we're going to create a const map dispatch to props. And I don't think this, I mean, this is kind of a container. So I don't think we're going to be actually really dispatching anything from this component itself, more from the sidebar and the thread view. However, we've still got this here for now, just in case. And then we're going to export default connect with map state to props and map dispatch to props. And we will wrap with router, and in here we will wrap messenger. Now this is all very common stuff to what we're going to need in the sidebar and the thread view. So I'm going to paste this here and name this sidebar, and down here as well. And then in thread view as well, we're going to do the same thing. And then save it. So now in Messenger, if we think about the layout here, we're seriously just going to need 2 columns. So div class name messenger container, and then we will just embed the sidebar and the thread view. And up at the top here, we need to import those. So import sidebar from up 1 level, partials, sidebar, and then again import thread view from up 1 level, partials, thread view. Now I'm going to save this, and we're going to actually start styling this stuff now. So the class name on this is going to be sidebar, and the class name on this is going to be main view. Now let me close app, auth reducer, that, and chat server. Let's go ahead and open up our CSS file so we can at least get this laid out. Actually, we need to open up app so that we can, in the home route here, we're going to actually embed the messenger here. So import messenger from components, pages messenger, and we'll create this here. But we will also create another route. Let me indent this a little bit, and the path will be thread ID. Okay, so now we've got these two here. So what I'm going to do is the sidebar, we're going to start setting some styles. So the background is going to be white. Float is going to be left. Width is going to be 300 pixels. And max width is going to be 25%. Height is going to be 100 view height. Let's set border right to 1 pixel solid. Sure. Position is going to be fixed. And top is going to be 0. All right. So we've got our sidebar class that we can drop into our CSS file. And then the message view, main view, it needs to also be fixed in position. So position fixed. Left is going to be 300 pixels. Background is going to be EA. That's too dark. Is it FA that I'm looking for? I mean, I think so. Okay. Height is going to be 100 view height. Width is going to be 100%. And something is going on here. It's that, hold on, let me set this to, okay, let's leave this like this for now. Let's get rid of that max width of 25%. So main view here is going to get these styles. And let's, okay. So I hit the wrong key combination and it stopped recording, but basically all I did to fix that white margin on the left of the main view was remove the max width of 25% that we had, and it looks a lot better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically just create a message list right here, and then on the right hand side we'll worry about that a bit later, but it's just going to be a basic, message bubbles and a very basic chat bar down here. So in the sidebar, what we're going to return is UL with a class name of thread list and a label that says messages, and then an li element which inside of it will have a link to thread. And inside the link, we are going to have an image, a name, and some text. So let's think about how we will, I guess, well, we can't really throw an image here just yet. Let's get some icons. Or let's just do this. Let's include the Cloudflare URL in the public directory, index.html. Right at the top, we will copy and paste that. And then we will have class name zmdi account circle. And then h5 is going to be name, and then a paragraph element. This is the last message. So let's save this. And then I'm actually going to copy and paste this a few times so we can get a better idea of how it will look when there's more than one. Okay, we can start with this. So what we'll do here, is the list style will set to none. The padding we will set to 0 pixels. Then I will copy this over to the style sheet. And now for the actual messages. Okay, so the icon here, we're going to float left. We will set the font size to 64 pixels. Well, maybe just 48. And we will set padding to 15 pixels. To 0 pixels and 15 pixels. Well, 5 and 15. Okay. So then ul thread list li a zmdi will be this. I'm going to copy this rule right here and just use that to style the A element, which will be text decoration none. Color is going to be this. Okay. We'll need to make that a little bit darker. The name, we're going to set font size to 14 pixels and padding to 5 pixels, maybe 15, maybe 10. And font weight is going to be 700. And actually, we also need to set padding bottom to 0 pixels and margin bottom to 0 pixels. So let's copy this now. And it's going to be ul.threadList liah5. It's going to get these styles. And then the paragraph, the font size will be 14 pixels as well. But the color is going to be something a little bit lighter. So let's save that. And ul.threadList liap. And now for the li elements themselves, or for the a elements, let's set the color to 2, I guess. So just right here, 222. And then the icon itself, I think this should be lighter. So color That looks okay. So the color was CCC. So let's save this now. And it's just that name has to be a little bit darker, or lighter. It needs to be a little bit lighter. So let's go with 444. That looks okay. Okay. So now we've got a list of messages here, and when I click it, it goes to thread, which should populate it over on this side. Let's also make that look a little better too. So the label here will say padding left is going to be 20 pixels. Font size will say 12 pixels. Color is going to be a bit lighter. And padding top is going to be 10 pixels. So that is the thread list label. So there we go. That's our sidebar. It looks okay. It will work. Now we actually need to load up the threads into there, and we'll do that a bit later. Let's also create the chat bar down here. So to do that, let's go to, let's copy what we have actually for the thread view and just put that into the chat input and rename it as chat input. And then in here, we will just need a constructor. And we will call super props and set this dot state to content and just nothing. So we will rename this to input view and then have input form, type is going to be text, placeholder is going to be write your message, class name is going to be form control, and with these input fields they can take a lot of properties, so we're going to break it up onto multiple lines here. Value is going to be this dot state dot content, and then on change is going to be the event this dot set state content e dot target dot value. So let's save this, and then in Messenger we need to import that. So import chat input from partials chat input, and we will put that right here. So right off the bat we don't see that anywhere, and it's probably hiding. So input view here, what we need to do is set position to fixed, left needs to be 300 pixels, width needs to be 100%, and bottom needs to be 0 pixels. We also need to set border to none, and I guess outline to none, and box shadow to none. What is making that look like that? Oh, it's the input itself. Okay, never mind. Okay, so for the input view in our CSS file, we'll do that, and then input view form control. Save this, and then the form control itself, we're going to set border to none, border radius to 0 pixels, and then border top is going to be 1 pixel solid, and just something really light there. Font size is going to be 14 pixels. And padding is going to be 10 pixels. Height, auto. There we go. That looks a little better. So now let me copy this and just paste it in here. So there, we've got a way to write a message here. We've got a list of messages there. And the thread view, the actual content of the messages, we'll worry about that later. We will also need a search bar and a way to search other users as well. So we will get to that as well. We'll actually need to do that first in order to be able to create threads with different people. So yeah, let's get right onto that.